Good Friday is a deeply significant day in the Christian calendar, marking the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Calvary. It is observed during Holy Week, which is the week leading up to Easter Sunday, the day that celebrates Jesus' resurrection. The origins of Good Friday are rooted in the events of the New Testament, where the story of Jesus' sacrifice unfolds. The term Good Friday might seem paradoxical at first. How can a day that commemorates such a painful event be termed good? The word good in this context is believed to derive from an older meaning, signifying holy. In many languages, the day is referred to in a way that reflects its solemnity, such as Holy Friday. This day is observed by Christians around the world with deep reverence and reflection, honoring the immense sacrifice that Jesus made for humanity. The history of Good Friday is intertwined with the events leading up to the crucifixion. According to the Gospels, Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane after the Last Supper, where he shared a final meal with his disciples. This meal is commemorated on Maundy Thursday, the day before Good Friday. After his arrest, Jesus was tried by the Sanhedrin, a council of Jewish leaders, and then handed over to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. The Gospels recount how Pilate, despite finding no fault in Jesus, succumbed to the pressure of the crowd, who demanded his crucifixion. On Good Friday, Christians remember the suffering and humiliation that Jesus endured. He was beaten, mocked, and forced to carry his cross to Golgotha, the site of his execution. The crucifixion was a brutal form of punishment reserved for the most heinous criminals, and Jesus' death was not just a physical suffering, but also a spiritual one, as he bore the sins of the world. The crucifixion is often depicted in art and is central to Christian theology, representing the ultimate sacrifice for the redemption of humanity. The significance of Good Friday for Christians cannot be overstated. It serves as a reminder of the depth of God's love and the lengths to which he went to restore the relationship between humanity and himself. For many Christians, Good Friday is a day of mourning and reflection, a time to consider the weight of sin and the cost of grace. It is also a day that emphasizes the themes of sacrifice, redemption, and hope. The story does not end with the crucifixion. It culminates in the resurrection on Easter Sunday, which symbolizes victory over sin and death. Different Christian denominations observe Good Friday in various ways, reflecting their unique traditions and interpretations of faith. In the Roman Catholic Church, Good Friday is marked by a solemn liturgy that includes the reading of the Passion narrative, which recounts the events of Jesus' crucifixion. The service is characterized by a sense of mourning, with the altar stripped bare and no celebration of the Eucharist. Instead, the faithful may participate in the veneration of the cross, where they approach a wooden cross to show their respect and gratitude for Jesus' sacrifice. In Protestant denominations, Good Friday observances may vary. Many churches hold special services that include readings from the Gospels, hymns, and prayers, reflecting on the significance of the day. Some congregations may choose to observe a tenebrae service, which involves the gradual extinguishing of candles to symbolize the darkness that fell upon the earth at the time of Jesus' death. This service often includes readings that recount the events leading up to the crucifixion, creating a somber atmosphere conducive to reflection. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, Good Friday is also observed with great reverence. The day is known as Great Friday, and it is part of a series of services that lead up to Easter. Orthodox Christians participate in a procession that includes the epitaphios, a representation of Christ's body, which is adorned with flowers and placed in a tomb-like structure. This act symbolizes the burial of Jesus and serves as a poignant reminder of his sacrifice. The faithful may also engage in fasting and prayer, reflecting on the significance of Christ's death. Across different regions of the globe, Good Friday is observed with unique customs that highlight the cultural diversity of Christianity. In the Philippines, for instance, some devout Catholics engage in the practice of crucifixion reenactments, where individuals are actually nailed to crosses as a form of penance and devotion. This practice, while controversial, underscores the deep commitment of some believers to embody the suffering of Christ. In contrast, in many Western countries, Good Friday is often marked by quieter observances, such as attending church services or participating in community events focused on reflection and charity. In countries like Germany and Switzerland, Good Friday is a public holiday, with many businesses closed to allow people to participate in religious observances. In these regions, it is common to see processions and reenactments of the Passion of Christ, where communities come together to reflect on the events of Good Friday. In some cultures, traditional foods are prepared, often reflecting a period of fasting and simplicity, emphasizing the somber nature of the day. In the United States, Good Friday is observed primarily by Christian communities, with services held in various denominations. While it is not a federal holiday, many states recognize it, allowing for a more significant observance. Churches may offer special services that draw in congregants, and some communities engage in ecumenical services that bring together different denominations to reflect on the significance of the day collectively. In many parts of Africa, Good Friday is marked by vibrant communal gatherings, where worshipers come together to sing hymns, pray, and share testimonies of faith. The sense of community is palpable, and many view this day as an opportunity to strengthen their bonds with one another while reflecting on the sacrifice of Jesus. The observance may include processions and reenactments that highlight the cultural heritage of the region, blending traditional practices with Christian teachings. In Latin America, the observance of Good Friday often includes elaborate processions and rituals that reflect the deep-rooted Catholic traditions of the region. In countries like Mexico and Brazil, streets may be filled with participants dressed as biblical figures, reenacting the Passion of Christ. These processions can be both solemn and celebratory, showcasing the importance of faith in the cultural identity of the people. As Good Friday approaches each year, Christians around the world prepare their hearts for a time of reflection and contemplation. The day serves as a reminder of the profound mystery of faith, the nature of sacrifice, and the hope that emerges from despair. It is a day that invites believers to pause and consider the weight of sin and the grace that is offered through Jesus' sacrifice. The observance of Good Friday is not just a historical remnant. It is a living tradition that continues to shape the faith of millions. Each year, as Christians gather in churches, homes, and communities, they carry forward the story of Jesus' love and sacrifice. Through prayer, worship, and acts of service, they embody the essence of Good Friday, celebrating the hope that lies in the promise of resurrection. In a world that often feels divided and chaotic, the message of Good Friday resonates with a universal longing for redemption and reconciliation. It invites believers to reflect on their own lives, to seek forgiveness, and to extend grace to others. The significance of this day transcends cultural and geographical boundaries, uniting Christians in a shared understanding of sacrifice, love, and the hope of new beginnings. As the sun sets on Good Friday, the darkness of the day gives way to the promise of Easter. The journey from the cross to the resurrection is a powerful narrative that continues to inspire and transform lives. It is a reminder that even in the midst of suffering, there is hope, and that love has the power to overcome even the darkest of days. Good Friday, with all its solemnity and significance, ultimately leads to the joy of Easter Sunday, where the story of Christ's victory over death and sin is celebrated with joy and gratitude. In conclusion, Good Friday is a day steeped in history, meaning, and diverse practices. It serves as a poignant reminder of the sacrifice made by Jesus and the depth of God's love for humanity. Across denominations and cultures, Christians come together to reflect on this profound event, creating a rich tapestry of observances that honor the significance of the day. As believers remember the Crucifixion, they also look forward to the hope of resurrection, embodying the spirit of faith that transcends time and place. Good Friday is not just a day of mourning, it is a day that ultimately points to the promise of new life, reminding all of the transformative power of love and sacrifice.